Welcome to an introduction to the history of SILVA, the high-quality ribosomal RNA database. My name is Gerken and I am the head of SILVA. The origins of SILVA date back to 1991, when Dr. Wolfgang Ludwig of the Technical University of Munich initiated the development of the integrated software workbench ARB to support high-quality phylogenetic inference and taxonomy based on ribosomal RNA marker genes. At that time, the ARP project maintained both the reference sequence datasets as well as the data analysis software package. Due to the massive increase in publicly available sequence data, manual maintenance of the reference datasets was no longer possible from 2005 onwards. At the same time, the need for high-quality reference datasets grew all over the world. To fill this gap, the SILVA project was started at the Max Planck Institute for Marine Microbiology in Bremen. This decoupled the maintenance of the reference datasets from the maintenance of the ARP software. The first version of SILVA was released in early 2007 and contained just 400,000 sequences, whereas the current version contains almost 15 million. In the following years, the SILVA team focused on publishing new releases and extending its online services. For example, the TestProbe and TestPrime tools to enable web-based in silico evaluation of probes and primers were added. The next key date in the history of SILVA came in 2014 when SILVA NGS, an analyst service for next-generation amplicon data, was launched. In 2015, SILVA became a founding member of DENBI, the publicly funded German network for bioinformatics infrastructure, which was founded to provide comprehensive, first-class bioinformatics tools and services for life sciences and biomedicine. In 2016, Germany finally joined ELIXIR and made DENBI the German ELIXIR node. Therefore, SILVA also became a founding member of ELIXIR Germany. After Germany joined ELIXIR, SILVA was asked to apply as ELIXIR core data resource. Which leads us to 2018, when SILVA was named an ELIXIR core data resource. In the following years, we worked hard on securing the future of SILVA via permanent funding. This process took longer than expected due to the COVID-19 crisis. During the elongated process, SILVA lost its last founding member of the development team at the end of 2021 to a call from industry. Our quest for permanent funding was finally completed when SILVA joined the DSMZ, the German collection of microorganisms and cell cultures, at the beginning of this year. At the moment, we are working on integrating with the infrastructure of the DSMZ, as well as on building the DSMZ digital diversity platform. An important part to secure the funding was the ELIXIR core data resource status of SILVA and Brenda, as well as the global core biodata resource status of Brenda and Backdive. Why am I mentioning other databases with respect to our permanent funding? Because we couldn't secure permanent funding for SILVA alone. Therefore, we joined forces with the enzyme database Brenda, Backdive, the database for standardized bacterial information, as well as LPSN and TÜX, who provide the list of prokaryotic names withstanding in nomenclature and a truly genome-based classification and identification of prokaryotic strains, respectively. Together with these partners, we form and build the DSMZ Digital Diversity Platform, which will provide an integrated resource and will also include data from the newly developed MediaDive as well as DSMZ internal databases and the DSMZ catalog. Now let's have a look at why SILVA has become an ELIXIR core data resource. This map is a reproduction of the locations recorded for any SILVA website visitor during the last 16 years. As you can see, SILVA is used from all over the world and visits from 220 countries have been recorded. Historically, the country with the most visits to the SILVA website has been the United States, followed by China, but this order has switched for recent years. When we have a look at our monthly user statistics, we observe a steady increase throughout the lifetime of SILVA. The only odd thing in this graph is that it seems that our visitor numbers are growing less strong since we have been named an ELIXIR core data resource, indicated by the dashed line in the graph. However, this is likely an artifact of two separate trends. First, SILVA is nowadays more used through third-party tools like Chime2 or Data2, and thus the users are not tracked as users on the SILVA web page. Second, users are becoming more privacy aware and block more tracking on the internet. Why am I thinking that? Besides knowing some institutions that block Google Analytics completely, as well as some individual scientists that do the same, our citation numbers in Google Scholar show a different story. There's a steep increase of citations per year since we have been named an ELIXIR Core Data resource, again indicated by the dashed line. More than 5,500 publications citing SILVA in 2022 show the continuous importance of SILVA for the scientific community. Judging from the current numbers, we might pass 6,000 citations for 2023. So if someone tells you the era of ribosomal RNA has ended, our data tells differently. Now let's have a look from which research areas are those publications. Unfortunately, Google Scholar does not provide such analysis, but Web of Science assigns each publication that it records to one or more research areas. By that we can see that 58% of the publications citing SILVA are either from microbiology or from ecology. The numbers of course do not give the market share of SILVA, which is very difficult to estimate. However, the Dimensions AI service has found that compared to other publications in the same field, our update publication about the SILVA pipeline and our web tools is extremely highly cited and has received approximately 1,468 times more citations than average. As a side note, even the citation numbers, which are usually received as facts, differ quite significantly between services. For example, Dimensions records 11% less citations than Google Scholar for the same publication. Thank you for your attention, and don't hesitate to get in touch with us should you have any questions.